WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange remains in a British prison awaiting extradition to the United States to face charges over the publication of files that detailed US war crimes. Numerous journalists and human rights groups have called for his release, and Mexico has offered him asylum. His biggest supporter is his wife, former lawyer Stella Assange. And in a rare interview, she told DW about her fears for her husband's life and the impact his treatment is having on press freedom worldwide.
Freedom for Julian Assange, that's what his supporters are demanding in front of the British Home Office. Stella Assange is among them. Appearing in public to talk about her husband's plight takes a toll on her.
In Spain and Italy and
But she says she won't stop until he's free.
Julian's life depends on him winning this extradition. Julian is clinically depressed. If he is extradited and placed in the type of isolation that the US government says that it reserves the right to place him in, then he will be driven to commit suicide.
Stella Assange fell in love with her future husband while working as his lawyer in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Assange took refuge there in an attempt to avoid extradition to the US. Leaving the embassy would mean being arrested, so for 7 long years he stayed within its walls. In that time, they had 2 sons. Their wedding took place in prison, where the family is allowed to see each other for 1 hour a week.
They check inside their mouths, behind their ears, in their hair, under their feet. They have to go through the dogs that sniff them from head to toe, and they understand that this is a place where their father's not allowed to leave.
Stella Assange wants her children to get to know their father outside of prison walls.
Ultimately, once the domestic remedies have been exhausted in the UK, he can then appeal to the European Court of Human Rights.
Her husband is a journalist uncovering war crimes, not a spy. That's what Stella Assange keeps telling the media. The US justice system, however, sees things differently. They accuse him of inciting others to hack into computer networks.
It will define the scope of press freedom in Europe. Is it permissible for a foreign power to reach into the European space and limit what the press can publish? Think about if China were to do exactly the same thing and prosecute a journalist in Germany on the same principle because that journalist exposed Chinese crimes.
European governments should defend themselves against US interference, she says.
The effect is to chill the press, because now what can happen to Julian can happen to others.
The fight to free her husband is exhausting, but giving up is out of the question for Stella Assange until her husband is free.